Hi, my name is Anthony Wing, and I'm an oyster celebrant. My specialty as an oyster celebrant, my mandate really is to proselytize the oyster, to bring it out to people, to ensure that their experience is memorable. It is the closest you can ever get, I believe, to having your food harvested before you. And you can sit right in front and you can witness this. But at the time, I've got to speak to you about it. I've got to speak to people about it because for many diners, it's the trepidation level is right up there with going to see a dentist. And unfortunately, the easiest thing, almost easier, I believe, than getting a bad cup of coffee, say, is getting a badly shucked oyster. The oyster may be wonderful when it arrives, but somebody may mess up. Shucking an oyster is like getting a film right. You have to get the film right in the writing, you have to get it right in the shooting, and then you have to get it right in the editing room, which is why we have so many poor films. It's very difficult, more difficult than building a bridge. So it's very, very tough to shuck a clean oyster and to get it out to people without letting them know it's going to be okay, it's going to be memorable, you're going to have a good experience, and if you don't, then you must have a shellfish allergy. When you shuck an oyster, there is an incredibly sharp knife in a very small space with an enormous amount of force involved in getting the job done through the 5 steps. And it is the danger that prevents people from devoting a lot of time to it. It just is not something that people in the industry wish to spend a lot of time on.
A big part of what we do here at National is our oyster program. We've got Anthony here, who's a huge oyster enthusiast. We feel that it offers our guests an experience like really nothing else in the city. It's a big part of National. The oyster bar tied right into one of our bars really brings the food and what we're doing with our beer together. It's a big part of the culture here at National.
Presentation is of course paramount. The perception of the presentation also for the diner is an incredibly important element. You have to have confidence that you're being well taken care of, just as with any plate of food. But with the oyster, this is live product. These are critters. And so what you have to remember is you should pick up the oyster. When you're preparing an oyster, you must ensure that when the diner picks it up and tilts it just slightly, the oyster will fall out of the shell. So anyone who's tried an oyster instantly has an enormous affinity, something in common with someone else who has. And right there you have the bedrock of the oyster culture.